think I got something. Ray, what are you doing?
I'm spooky.
Ray. I'm Meg.
And I'm Ray.
And we are Meg-a-Rae. Ray, seriously. I was trying to have a serious moment.
I'm a ghost. I'm spooky.
You're not a ghost.
Well, I was.
Okay.
I was inhabited by a ghost.
All right.
It happens.
So a ghost possessed you.
A little bit.
Okay.
And maybe wear a sheet.
All right. Well, today we are talking about ghosts.
No, I thought we were talking about pancakes.
No.
Oh, okay.
Pink. Okay.
I was being sarcastic.
We are talking about ghosts and not pancakes, unless the pancakes are in the shape of ghosts.
I'm kind of hungry.
Anyway, do you want me to start with my book review that we have today?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, I am reading two books that are not about pancakes. They're about ghosts and being haunted. And my first one is Haunting Obsession by R.J. Sullivan. And R.J. is one of my dear friends. Hi, R.J. He is the author of this fabulous book, and he is a local author in Mooresville. And he has written another book, but this is his second book, and it is about a guy named Daryl who has this obsession with Maxine Marie, which is her right there. She's kind of like a Marilyn Monroe type, and Daryl loves her, and he collects memorabilia on her. But one day he comes home with something tacky of Maxine Marie, and his girlfriend loves that he's quirky and that he has this obsession. But Loretta's not in favor of what he brings home, and so Daryl's put in the doghouse. So anyone who knows about dating or is dating, you know what the doghouse means. And Loretta's upset, but apparently the ghost of Maxine is upset too, and she comes back from the dead and haunts Daryl and puts him back in line, and it's quite hilarious. And it's a good book for October when you're reading about ghosts, but it's also really hilarious, so nothing too freaky. And my second book is Ghost Hunters by Deborah Bloom. And she wrote this great nonfiction book, which is about ghost hunters in the 1800s, and it wasn't what I expected. I expected kind of more of the history of ghost hunting and how that came to be, which you do get in this book, but it was nice to see how ghost hunting back then became a war against religion. And the ghost hunters, or the wacky people that they were known back then, they were trying to prove to the church that you could still believe in God, but also believe that spirits do exist. So their whole reason was how reason and revolution can exist and continue to work together. And it was quite interesting, and I love Deborah Bloom, how she wrote the book. It's very much of a story, and I would recommend it to anyone who's interested in ghost hunting, especially if there are actual ghost hunters out there watching this. This would be a great book to read about the history of it.
That sounds really cool.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm gonna check that one out. I going to talk about a book that we have in our tween department. It's also housed in our JFIC Newbery Award area. This is a Newbery winner, so means it's good. And it's by Neil Gaiman, and it's called The Graveyard Book.
It's wonderful.
It is really good, and Neil Gaiman knows how to write a spooky story.
Yes, he does.
He really does. And this is the story of Nobody Owens, known as Bod to his friends and family, who happen to all be ghosts. He lives in a graveyard where he's pretty much grown up since Jack the Man killed his parents. And Jack the Man is looking for Bod to finish the job. One of the things that I really kind of took from this book and thought was really great was the fact that Bod, okay, so he lives in a graveyard. His friends and family are ghosts. Guy's been trying to kill him since he was a baby, and everyone in his life is just kind of a spooky character, but they're family. So when he decides to venture forth into the real world and go to school, the bullies don't faze him. Like, yeah, they might be saying mean things about him, but it's like, I live with ghosts, you don't faze me, like, at all. So it's really, really good, and if you happen to find the audiobook, I believe it's read by Neil Gaiman, which just ups the awesome factor by like 10.
Does he like pancakes?
I would hope so. I think that's a sign of a good man. He likes pancakes. So this is a really great book, known to scare children, but in the best way possible.
Yes,
I love it.
So check it out.
If you're concerned parents, you should read it first, but it's really great.
It's really
if
good.
I'm remembering correctly, I heard a story where he asked some kids to read it, and he asked them, well, are you scared? Did it scare you? And they're like, well, no. And then later, they said, actually it terrified me, but I was afraid if I told you it was scary, they'd take it away. And I needed to see how it ended.
Cute.
So, Graveyard Book, it is a great book, whether or not you're a tween, much old. I read this just a year or so ago, and it was fantastic. So, highly recommended. So, ghosts in the library, getting a little naughty. You talk about that.
This is the second time this has happened. Now see, now you all know why I was looking for ghosts, because you know the first episode that we did in October, this happened. There is a poltergeist in the Indiana room. I swear it.
I think they're getting angry. I mean,
yeah, they splashed you.
Like, they're like, no one checked out our book, and it needs to happen. So, guys, seriously.
Yeah, so seriously, guys,
check this out before
check
something
the
worse
Haunted
happens.
Hoosier Halls from Indiana University, okay? And there's other Indiana books in the 398.47. So please, check it out, because ghosts are angry in here.
Like, for our sake, not just yours.
I know. Help us. Okay.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. Bye.
I'm spooky.
Never toss books.
Don't do this. It's bad.